Hi everybody, how you doing? I hope you're well. Rosanna, RozyGlow here with the next instalment of the daily prayer. So I've started seeing master numbers again. Today it was 222 and 333. I've had days of just seeing 11, 11, 22, 22, 33, 33, 44, 44. Just pay attention. Hey CB baby, how you doing? Start to pay attention to what's going on, because it really feels like there's been an energetic tempest playing out. And again, different teachers are saying different things, but ultimately there's been a huge energetic shift. And yesterday I had a full day off with my beloved, which was awesome. We went and took a speedboat around Grand Cayman. Hey Courtney. And I'm uploading the videos at the moment onto YouTube. They're all short, but I'm going to just do a little series for you of the day, because it was just like, you know, like just a real dream come true. And a reprise from what had been quite a challenging morning, actually. So I was working till lunchtime and had some really difficult scenarios to deal with. And this is the thing that, you know, when we are going further and further along our path and we are being tested to stay true to our integrity, our authenticity, our transparency, things will come up that are confusing. And this whole idea of anchoring is so important. Like, the word anchor is showing up everywhere, not just in my own life, but in my team. So I have two different teams, Enjoy and RozyGlow. Everybody that I work with closely has done deep inner work. They've worked with me to clear their subconscious, and we all hold each other in integrity and accountability, really. So if we feel like one of us is off, we'll check in and basically open up a dialogue just to see what's coming up for the others. And I think that's so helpful, having friends and having colleagues that hold you accountable to the way that you actually intend to live your life. That is a real sense of deep trust and intimacy, because you're saying, look, I'm seeing this like this, how are you seeing it? Like, is there something I'm not seeing here? Is there a blind spot you want to reveal to me? That's a beautiful way of having friendship. So hey Zing, welcome back. And actually I'm going to make that video that I said I'd make about toxic friendships and actually what it means to turn that around, because I think that would be helpful for people. But there's been a lot of challenges with the feminine recently. The masculine's fine. Had a dream recently that my grandfather was giving me an old computer to take with me on a journey, and I was like, no Grandad, I need my new one. And this is my maternal grandfather, so he gave me my new one, which to me is about this operating system shifting and the divine masculine coming through me in a different way, like holding form without needing the excuses and the language, the dialogue and the story. But the feminine aspect requires more boundaries, and it's like, we're not going into the story here. This is just a pattern. We're not playing into this pattern. Let's have a shift. And the way that you have a shift is you anchor deep. So let me get to the prayer and I'll explain a little bit more around that. But, you know, part of compassion and love is actually, like, not taking on BS as well. Like, you know, bullshit detection is very important, because people tell themselves all sorts of stories, and usually they're really unquantifiable. So bring it back to logic. I do all sorts of amazing energy work, but if something's off, I'll go back to the physical stuff first, and I'll work my way out with physical, etheric, emotional, mental, astral. Okay, I don't go astral first, because there's all sorts of attachments and all sorts of things that can happen. But if you just deal with the physical first, it sorts all of that out. So this is where we have to go. Anyway, what we'll go with is the prayer, and we'll go from there. So, good afternoon, diamonds. An invitation awaits in our hearts to value connecting over conquering divine sparks. Just open to see with eyes of love and commit to persist on your optimal path. Hindsight helps us reach to new insights that remind us we are not always right. Not always. Those around us will help make it clear where illusion and delusion need illumination and reflection in order to disappear. Anchoring means digging deep, holding strong as the winds do beat. Storms and gales and tempest trails, and still, when all seems surreal, we are grounded in what is real. Our breath as source, our hearts as navigators of our soul's course. The way forward comes from love. Seek this and gifts do abound. I am the anchor of my life. I am source, I am love light. I am that I am. So the invitation with this whole idea of anchoring, and if you don't know the story already, my dear partner has bought a house called the Anchorage. It's just so funny, and it's a master number as well. It's number 33. So like the synchronicities of living magically abound every which way you go if you get into it. Okay, and this is the thing about upselling, upscaling, all the things that we're doing in our lives. We will always have a reason to stay where we're used to, and we'll always have an opportunity to grow. So keep focusing on the opportunity, keep looking for the resolution, and you will find it. And sometimes it's just drawing a line and saying, I'm just not participating in this anymore. We need to be a vibrational match with the things around us, and sometimes we're not. And it's through being a vibrational match that we learn what is and what isn't our truth, and we grow in the next lesson. And sometimes we'll bump up against people who are in different vibrational frequencies to us in order to get very clear where our frequency actually is, and that's very helpful as well. So doubt is very hey Morgan, welcome. Doubt is very sort of erosive. It's not beneficial for the most part to live your life doubting yourself. However, it's always positive to be able to reflect on yourself if you feel sure about something. It's just to be able to sort of look at it from other angles and to try and seek the perspective of the others as well. Even if you don't agree with it, trying to understand if there is conflict, where they might be coming from and what they might be seeing. But ultimately, you've got to trust your gut. You've got to trust yourself. You've got to trust that your own inner guidance, your heart, your gut, your womb. I talk a lot about this in the co-creation course, the different inner voices. The brain, these all need to line up and basically be like, okay, this isn't right for me, this is. And being able to observe when fear comes up as well. Like sometimes we'll get a real tight feeling and we'll want to stay away from something, but actually it's because we have fear caught up in that and projected it in it. And if we look at it and we take that fear away, it does change our perception of what is possible and the way to go. So I invite you to be curious about everything you feel and not to attach a judgment to anything. Like if you allow yourself to explore what is going on inside of you without judging, this is good, this is acceptable, this is bad, this is unacceptable, and just see where you are taken in yourself, you'll start to see where you've made presumptions about yourself that hold you prisoner in areas that you would like to be free. So let's go with the prayer again, because yesterday's prayer and today's prayer were really about you being able to reorientate to a safe space. If you found yourself in deep waters, if you found yourself in unfamiliar territory and you're like, what's going on here? How do you come back? So let's do the prayer one more time, and any questions you let me know. Good afternoon, diamonds. An invitation awaits in our hearts to value connecting over conquering divine sparks. This is really about, let's seek to connect rather than to conquer each other, right? Let's seek to connect and heal and grow rather than conquer and usurp. But there is a place where you have to also claim your authority and understand what you have learnt so far, and not allow those that maybe are a bit further back on their path and adamant they know what they're doing to throw you off your course, because you have to understand you've got to where you've got to because of what you've learned. And wherever you are, we're always going to have people ahead of us and souls behind us. Souls ahead, souls behind. That's just the way it goes. It's always going to be that way. So just accept where you are in that, and don't try and push yourself back or throw yourself forward. You are where you are. That's okay. Wherever we are in relation to the people around us is where we are. Accept that, grow with it, and let it be. You resist it, you start causing problems, especially with ego. Back to the prayer. An invitation awaits in our hearts to value connecting over conquering divine sparks. Just open to see with eyes of love and commit to persist on your optimal path. Hindsight helps us reach to new insights that remind us we are not always right. Those around us will help make it clear where illusion and delusion need illumination and reflection in order to disappear. Anchoring means digging deep, holding strong as the winds do beat, storms and gales and tempest trails, and still, when all seems surreal, we are grounded in what is real. Our breath as source, our hearts as navigators of our soul's course. The way forward comes from love. Seek this and gifts do abound. I am the anchor of my life. I am source. I am love light. I am that. I am. And that's it. So, our breath is source. That will get you back to your truth. Our hearts as navigators. Our soul's course. Like, your heart will take you to your soul lesson. And the way forward comes from love, not from fear. Okay? But remember, love, I'm inviting you to get very curious about what love does, because sometimes love is tough. Sometimes love is flexible. Sometimes love is a hard line. Sometimes love is being patient. Other times it's pushing through. Like, love is the absence of fear. Okay, it's the opposite of being motivated by fear. It's knowing what is the right thing to do and doing that consciously. Even if you're not going to be the most popular person, even if there's going to be backlash, even, hey Courtney, even if you're going to get criticised or judged or whatever, it doesn't matter. There is an integrity within each of us. There is an internal compass that if we connect with, you'll recognise it's not about telling stories, and it's not about the unquantifiable. It's about being able to access what's really going on for you and being in truth with that. And if you can do that, then you can have open and honest dialogue with others. Otherwise, you just project shit at them and you make up stories and you get very confused with where you're at, really, and what's going on. If it feels like the world's against you, have a look at that. Like, what in you is against you? And the outer world will reflect where we are in ourselves. So it's an interesting dialogue, really, isn't it? Outer and inner reality. Anyway, I think I'll leave that there today. I send you loads of love. I'm going to be working. I've got Co-Creation Success Week 3 going on today, which is awesome. And it's time to start making some videos about conceiving with ease. So if you have any questions around the fertility journey, or even anything around the fearless stuff, because I've been doing lots while I'm here, let me know and I'll get those videos going. I'll make that one about toxic friendships. I think that really needs to happen now. No more talking, start doing. Have a beautiful day. Lots of love. Bye.